Welcome to 3 on 3, where three friends bring up three topics covering the last week, which ends on June 5th, 2022. My name is Marty.
I'm Matt.
I'm Nick.
And if you enjoy the content that we're doing here today, please hit subscribe. Please like this video, share it with others. And guys, typically this time of year is big E3, but E3 doesn't exist.
It does not.
So
It's gone.
instead, everybody's kind of doing their own thing now.
Yeah, they are. And, I think the Summer Games Fest is really going to be taking over that E3 spot.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley's been, putting together a good video game show every year. Summer Games Fest to take over E3. I think he's really single-handedly trying to save, the hype machine that is, video game releases, announcements and stuff. But Sony State of Play is another big thing that now they do this all year long, where every couple months, Sony might want to focus on certain games. Nintendo does this as well with their directs. Xbox doesn't really do it too much, but
they're doing it this week though.
They have a show.
Right now.
Yeah, and that's in place of an E3, right? That's in that spot. But my topic for tonight is the Sony State of Play that happened from last week. So I want to go over what games they announced and kick off this E3-less summer with what's new coming out maybe this holiday or early next year. Nick, what's your topic?
I am going to discuss the Star Wars celebration, which also happened last week.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I'm going to discuss the hot topic that's actually trending on Twitter right now, Diablo Immortal.
Ooh, got to get those Twitter trends. Get them. Diablo, your favorite free-to-play games. Well, we'll kick things off with State of Play. How's that? Want to get rolling?
Sounds good.
So,
All right, so State of Play kicked off last week. It was focused mainly around third-party games. They did not feature first-party stuff. So if anyone was looking for God of War or anything in their main line, it was not going to be there. But this was, I'm going to say right off the top, I think it was best State of Play I've ever seen. And I don't know, Nick, do you think it was as strong? I mean, it had everything that I wanted out of a State of Play.
I saw the two games I really wanted to see out of there, outside of God of War. So yes.
Yeah, for sure. It was just a great show. I mean, again, I'll go through the list real quick, just of the highlights. We'll talk a little bit about each one, and if we're excited for it, and what else maybe we didn't get to see that we're hoping maybe pops up later in the summer. So first up was the Resident Evil 4 remake. What do you guys think of Resident Evil? Are you guys fans of RE4?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great series, and they've been doing a really good job with the remakes. They could have just been these soulless cash grabs, but they're all really excellent remakes so far.
How are you, Marty?
Yeah, I remember playing that on the GameCube.
I played on the GameCube too, yeah.
When it first came out. And it's no surprise. It's just, we knew it was coming, but it's nice to finally see it in action and a date.
Yeah, and you know what? Resident Evil 4 is actually still really good today. That game holds up really well. If you do go back and play it, it still looks great, plays great. So I'm, if people haven't played it yet, it's wouldn't be a bad idea just to give the original one a shot and then see how they change in the remake. I mean, they've been doing really good with these Resident Evil remakes. The first one, Resident Evil 2, was both really, really great. So I'm excited to see what they do with 4. And then they went into some VR stuff, as far as adding VR support for Village. There's a new Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners 2, which Saints and Sinners was really, really good. No Man's Sky getting VR support, which could be crazy. No Man's Sky I cannot believe that game is still going, by the way. This is the game that won't stop. And I think that's awesome. It's a great little team. And then there's a little VR thing for Horizon Zero Dawn, which the graphics look really great on that. But again, a lot of that stuff was just centered around VR. And then there was a game called Stray. Did you guys see the trailer for Stray? This is the cyberpunk cat game. Yep, this is a cyber. Nick, what do you think of Stray?
I thought it was interesting. I want to see more gameplay before I make a more informed decision. But the presentation got me. I'm interested.
Yeah, how about Marty? Did you see that?
I did. I have to see more on it. It's one of those things I need to find out more about.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool. Obviously it's going to be quite different title, but I think that's what draws me to it a little bit more. And then one that I think looks really great is the Callisto Protocol. This is from a new studio, Striking Distance. For those that don't know, Striking Distance is Glenn Schofield's new studio. He is one of the main guys behind Dead Space. And some of and then Sledgehammer Games, which he did some Call of Duty games with Sledgehammer. So he put together a team, and for the last few years has been working on this Callisto Protocol. Really does look like a new Dead Space. So for fans of space horror, this looks awesome. Marty, are you into space horror things? Like, what do you think of Callisto?
It's fine. It's fine. I don't do a lot of the survival horror stuff, but I mean, it looks really good though. And Dead Space is huge, so coming from the same people, it's probably going to be a big title, I would think.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of DNA from Dead Space into this, so I think fans are going to be right at home.
Yeah, I've been really looking forward to this one as a fan of Dead Space and Dead Space 2. They dropped a trailer a couple years ago, and then it was basically radio silence until the state of play. So it was nice. To see something.
And I love when they do stuff like this. I recall the Fallout like 3 or 4 did this too, where it's like no one heard of it and that it was coming, and then they released a trailer, and then this has a date of December 2nd. So this is actually something we're getting this year, which is super exciting. And I love single player narrative story games, and especially ones of like this quality. So I'm really looking forward to Callisto Protocol. There was a trailer for Roller Drome, which was really quick. Looked like roller derby and guns. There's one for you, Marty, Eternights, which kind of looked like an anime. It almost looked like a Persona style game. Nick, what's your read on that? And Marty,
I looked into it because I love JRPGs too, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a dating sim / JRPG. So
there is dating sim in there. Okay,
yeah, that's the part. It was like,
that's gonna.
I don't know if I'm target audience for that, but like,
same here.
But I mean, I do love Fire Emblem games too, which have that kind of aspect to it. So maybe we'll see.
One of my next, another huge game for me is Street Fighter 6. We have talked on our channel before about how much we all love Street Fighter. It's a really important game to all. I cannot wait for this. I think it looks great. They're bringing hip hop back to Street Fighter. It feels a lot like Street Fighter 3, and I can't wait. The roster leaked, so we got the chance to kind of see like what's coming out. But this is next summer, and I can't wait for a new Street Fighter.
Same.
Yeah, I think it's what's interesting. They updated their website, put a lot of information about how the fighting works. They're keeping the classic controls. They have the modern controls, which some people were worried about. So a lot of people that I know that weren't fans of 5 are really looking forward to what they've seen so far in 6.
I liked 5. I thought 5 was pretty cool, but I totally get, I get it. Like, and it's definitely time to move on to something new, something a little bit different. And then I think I'm just going to end with Final Fantasy 16. They dropped the trailer, and it looks so good. The music was amazing. It's summon focused. It's like fast combat focused. Man, now they got me. I just wish it was sooner than summer of next year. That's it. That's all I'm sad about.
Yeah. This was the number 1 trailer I was looking for. The State of Play. I would have been really disappointed if they didn't drop. But
exactly.
We all kind of knew it was coming, I think. But as you said, it looks amazing. But I mean, it's from Yoshi P, that creative studio which works on Final Fantasy 14, and they always turn in excellent work. Like I wish 14 parts of it were a single player game, because they would have been the best mainline Final Fantasy titles in years. So I have really high expectations for 16.
I'm just glad it's going back to fantasy based. It's been a long time since I had a true fantasy style game, and that was good.
Yeah, they're all like old Borderlands steampunk, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and this one really feels like 12 kind of storyline, or not, it's just the tactics, like what intrigue kind of stuff, and I can't wait for that. So that's State of Play. That's all I got, guys. Get excited for then. There's gonna be more releases next week. We'll probably end up talking about the Xbox One when that goes, and whatever Nintendo decides to show here pretty soon. Yep. I know Marty's excited about that. Nick, what do you got? What's next?
Star Wars Celebration. So we've got another big bullet list of stuff that came out. I know the one that you're probably most excited for, Matt, though, is the sequel to Fallen Order, right?
Oh man,
Survivor.
Jedi
Yeah.
Survivor, man. Yeah, I can't wait for Jedi Survivor. We know we played through all of that first one, and it is great. With one of the best endings that I thought it could have been. Like, just such a great ending, great gameplay.
And I think the trailer answered some of those questions, at least a little bit. Kind of teased that. It's going to pick right off. Did you play through that, Marty? Did you play through Fallen Order?
Some of it. Didn't ever finish it. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically Dark Souls meets Star Wars, so it's pretty interesting. And they announced some new shows like Andor, which I'm actually pretty excited for.
That looks interesting.
Because when my gut reaction to that was, okay, we're finally moving away from Jedi and Sith. Tell me like a nice, small, self-contained story, like away from them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that trailer was good.
Yep. And they also talked about Willow, which was not Star Wars, but it belongs in that Lucasfilm hub. And that was actually the thing I was the most hype about out of the entire Star Wars celebration was actually Willow. It was not a Star Wars thing.
Dude, I haven't seen Willow in so long. Like, I barely remember Willow. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm excited to see what they do with it, and I have seen it, but man, it's been forever. It's like it's like back here somewhere. I don't quite remember where. I haven't seen Willow in a long time.
Yeah, that musical sting got me at the end though. the trailer, like I just felt the nostalgia, and that they talked about Bad Batch and Mandalorian season 3. So they talked about some of the other ones, but I think those are the big hits. Did anyone else love?
Yeah, well, they released the first couple episodes of Obi-Wan. So I mean, 3 episodes of Obi-Wan are out now. They released it right around Star Wars Celebration, so I think that's definitely pretty good. Have you guys watched? I know Nick and I have. Marty, you watch any Obi-Wan yet?
I'm up to date. Yep.
What do you think? Non-spoiler. What do you think it's so far?
It's good. It's fine. I can't. Well, it's non-spoiler, so I can't say too much. It's fine. I'm curious to see. There's 3 episodes left. It can finish high, it can finish low, so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Non-spoiler, I'm going to say there's one part that really made me laugh, and there's like this gate that they could have ran around, but they struggled with.
As I watched I said it. It's like I said, walk around.
You could just walk around it. Yeah, like it's so funny.
It didn't take them that long to disable
it.
Right?
It did not.
But still.
No, it didn't. It was, but I think it was more or less the shot that they used because it was kind of like a wide shot, and you're like, that gate is not as effective as I think it is, but that part was really funny. However, I think Ewan McGregor is doing amazing as Obi-Wan.
He's killing it.
He's doing so good. I actually really like the actress that's playing some of the other characters. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm pulling back.
I know who you're talking about, though. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pulling it back, but I think everyone's doing great. I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, I think it could be one of the better Star Wars shows that it's Disney Plus. We'll see, but if they stick to landing. But all right, let's get into it, Marty. I know we're gonna sink our teeth into a big one here.
All right, so several years ago, Blizzard announced Diablo. People got excited, and it come find out it's Diablo Mobile. Yeah, and it's people were all over. What is it? Just like, y'all got phones, right?
Yeah, don't you all have phones, right? Don't you have phones? Yeah.
Yeah, don't you have phones?
And the infamous person from the crowd saying, "Is this an off-season April Fool's joke?" Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like they announced it, and like they're like, "Here's our game," and the guy's like, "Is this an off-season April Fool's joke?"
People started to boo at the event.
Well, and so it didn't come out of the gate very good. So that was just released recently, I think, on PC, Android, and iOS. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Yeah. And it's a free to play game, and a lot of people who have tried it, I believe, Matt, you said you've tried it. You said you've been enjoying it and stuff. It's fine. But what's coming out is big companies like Forbes are coming out with these articles saying, the title of the article from Forbes is "How Diablo Immortal's Pay to Win Microtransaction Are 10 Times Worse Than Genshin Impact." And then they go through the examples comparing the two games. And so it is getting a lot of grief saying that, hey, that's a lot of these things that they really kind of push you to buy. And several YouTubers have kind of crunched some numbers and time and some math and stuff. And they said to max out a character, if you bought it, you could spend $40,000 to $100,000 to do so, or play free to play for 10 years in order to earn
as a
everything.
Full-time job, right? Yeah, it's like 40 hours a week.
Because the chests that provide that stuff are limited to like 3 times a month that you can even get those things. And so you have to work constantly to have the opportunity to be able to get the stuff to get upgraded. So I don't know. I brought it up because it was trending on Twitter, and you actually had some people going, "I don't see what the problem is. Just enjoy it. It's free." And then other people's like, "Yeah, but the problem is, it's like you can enjoy it for free, but it's very predatory on those that can get sucked into stuff like that." So, what do y'all think?
What do you think, Nick?
Well, okay, I'm of two minds. I love Diablo, but I'm going to wait for Diablo 4. I downloaded it, I played it for a little bit, and then like within minutes, I got a pop up like, "Hey, buy this pack," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to." And then it just keeps going, right? And I even finished a dungeon, and it gave me like a chest I couldn't even open unless I paid money, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I uninstalled it. But it plays great. The story is, from what I can gather, is actually probably better than Diablo 3, because Diablo 3 kind of launched as a mess. So it's a real tragedy that this is a free-to-play game. And I play plenty of free-to-play games on my phone. Like Clash, I've been playing Clash Royale for 5+ years. But that's not predatory monetization. Like, I'm never forced to pay to earn things in Clash Royale. But in Diablo Immortal, in order to progress, there is a very definite paywall that you run face first against in Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, I downloaded it and started playing it. I think it's done really well. It definitely looks great. I have one of the newer iPhones, so it's looking as good as I think it can on mobile. I think the touch controls are fine. And as far as my stance on free to play, kind of brought it, I will definitely try it. I'll download it and play anything. I also never feel forced to buy anything on a free to play game. I will play as much as I can for free as I absolutely, they let me. I mean, even Fortnite, it took me forever to start buying like the battle passes or whatnot. Like you could just download and play Fortnite if you want to spend $10 a month or every other month, and then go ahead. But I'm totally okay with just taking whatever free they give me. I also don't mind putting a little money towards it. So like to kind of pay for it. And that's like, so if they do offer some sort of battle pass and they say down the road, it's going to be $10, and you can get some better gear as you play, I might throw them $10 or, $20 down if I'm still playing it. Right. But I saw something that you got to pay like $100,000 to get the full gear. And that's what we were talking about. Like 100,000, like no one's, I mean, maybe somebody is. I mean, do you guys know the term whale?
Yeah.
When it comes to mobile games? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for anyone that doesn't, essentially they know that not everybody is paying all this money for free to play, but one or two people do, and those are considered whales. Those are the ones that actually keep the games running. It's like, it's not even like a giant group of people. It's just like a few.
Yeah. It's usually less than 5% of the game's total player base that pays for.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, so for me, I have it on my phone. I enjoy it. I'm going to kind of just play as much as I can. If it blocks me from content and says, well, to get into this dungeon, you got to pay $10, I probably will just not do that dungeon.
Right.
And kind of keep enjoying it. Yeah.
I mean, to go back to your Fortnite example, though, it would be like, okay, you get to start off with this handgun, right? Fine. But if you want the assault rifle, you have to pay $10, right? No.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Or if you want like a better handgun than the starter one, you have to pay money for it.
For sure.
So like gameplay is gated behind money, which is bad.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen that yet, but I'm not that
and
far.
the thing is, though, it's just Blizzard has had such a PR nightmare over the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. This ain't helping. So I mean, we talked about sometime doing a talk where we talk about the golden age of video games and nostalgia, and my era would include Blizzard, because at one time they were like my all-time favorite company. It's not the same company anymore, and it's a name only. It's different people. It's just it's
interesting. Like Overwatch 2 isn't really hyping me up either. I will play Diablo 4 when it comes out, probably for sure. I think that's probably the one I'm most excited to get into and try. Overwatch 2 isn't, I mean, I always thought the single player Overwatch would be neat, but I'm almost just like less excited about that now than I think
But it's not even launching. Overwatch 2 is not even launching with the co-op or the single player.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the biggest failure, I guess, for Overwatch 2 is if I look at a screenshot of Overwatch, the original Overwatch and Overwatch 2, like I can't tell which game is which unless I'm really looking.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Blizzard.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there's done all a lot of these game companies have done all these psychological studies to show that these types of games make tons of money. They know how, this isn't just, hey, we're going to put it out there and see if we make something. There is a lot of analysis behind why for $25, you just can't buy Diablo Immortal, as opposed to we'll just rely on the 5% and do a lot better.
Right.
So
anyway, Skinner box, right? Except it's everything, every step you have to take is paid.
Right. Yeah. So it's interesting. Just a lot of articles coming out now about a lot of videos too. So we aren't the only one, but it was just kind of relevant for today's topic.
Yeah. Well, all right, Marty, how about we hit a quick 3 and out and get out of here?
All right. I'm still playing the same game.
Yeah. What are you playing now? What are you playing?
I've still got here's the thing. I have not been playing a lot of video games. Still this 13 Sentinels. I've still got about 10 hours left. And I'm only just playing a few hours a week. I'm just not getting a lot of time to play. So what are y'all playing? I'll live through y'all.
Well, I started Strangers in Paradise after putting Elden Ring down. But I have my PC and my PC broke, which is why I'm in a brand new room right now. So I can't actually play it. I'm really enjoying it so far. The story is out of control. Like I really hope the story resolves into something really cool. Other than that, the combat's super fun and fulfilling. So when I was playing that was good. Outside of that, I haven't been playing really much of anything other than mobile games, Diablo and little Hero Realms on phone, which has been pretty cool. But you know what? I've been watching Erased on Netflix, and Marty, you gotta watch Erased. So
I did. I watched it years ago.
Marty's already watched it. He's already. It was great, right? What'd you think?
It's really good. Yeah. What I loved about it, self-contained, like 12 episode show.
Yep. Oh, I didn't know you did. Okay, well, see, you've already watched it, and So yeah, if you haven't already, it's 12 episodes. Really great series. Yeah, and I saw Top Gun twice. Nick, how about you?
Nice.
Yeah, so you talked me into Strangers in Paradise, right? Final Fantasy. It was all right, but I couldn't help but think I'd rather be playing Elden Ring while I was playing it. But it was good.
You got it bad for Elden Ring, man. I think any game you play after that is going to be tough.
Yeah. But I do still really like V Rising, and I went back to that a little bit. That's just a super fun game, and that when it fully comes out, it's going to be really, really good.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's this week's 3 on 3. We'll hopefully be back next week. I don't know, Matt. You and I are going to be at the Origins Game Fair. We'll have to see.
Are you guys going to podcast from Origins?
There might be. I don't know. It depends. I'll have my stuff with me, so we'll see if we can sneak in another one. If not, we'll be back shortly.
And it'll probably be about all the stuff that's getting ready to get announced this week and all the Summer Game Fest and everything like that.
For sure.
Anyway, everybody, thank you for watching. Remember, like and subscribe and share, and we'll see you next time.